So we've established we like old games, right? Good. Okay. I got a little head-to-head for you. Emulation device, original hardware. I mean, they cost about the same. So the price, I get it, the price. Yes, I understand it is relatively free to play retro games on an emulation device. And what I got right here is, Chrono Trigger on the DS. It's a subtle flex, I know. But yeah, the pricing structure of older devices can get crazy, especially if you want the Super Nintendo version of this game, we're talking like 200 and something odd dollars. There are certainly games that cost a lot of money. But there are ways around that. I think that there is a very, very specific draw to original hardware versus emulation that I think I can explain somewhat okay with a Leatherman. So the first thing that I want to get out of the way here is just kind of, hey, I'm looking at you husbands. I don't know how we're going to explain this one to our wives. I genuinely don't. And you can maybe have them watch this video and maybe it's convincing enough. But I don't have an answer for you as to why, at the end of this, you're probably gonna go out and buy one of these. Okay, I'm glad we got that handled because I don't know how we're gonna be having these conversations. The first thing I was gonna say is the emulation devices, these guys, these little doohickeys, they're, at this point, a dime a dozen. You can find them in many different form factors, different ways to play them. There are expensive ones like the Ein Thor that does more than just play retro titles. We're seeing people play actual full-fledged Steam titles on there. These devices come in so many different shapes and sizes, and in my example, this is what I call the Leatherman. The Leatherman itself does many things. It is, pliers. It has a can opener. This one actually has a bit where you can screw stuff in, and even a tinier one which I can open all of the battery doors to all of my different things. But what it also has in it is something that causes redundancy in my EDC. It has a knife, a serrated knife, a file, so many different things. I mean, this is actually pretty invaluable and I keep it in my backpack at all times. But hear what I said there? I keep it in my backpack at all times. The very thing itself, the Leatherman, is not something that would be a knee-jerk reaction to grab if I needed to quickly open a box. You see, the Leatherman itself has a little bit more thinking behind it. It is a a tool, really. A tool that allows me to do a lot of things good enough. And for a lot of people, that is a-okay. But again, my deck daddies, my portable papas, my analog assassins, that is not what I'm looking for. See, the thing that I'm looking for is really interesting, and I think that it is akin to a EDC knife. This is my Benchmade tagged out. I love this knife, and this is something I keep on my person at all times. I keep this right here in my pocket. The Leatherman Wave Plus, that's something I keep in my bag. I do keep it on me because I like to have it in an EDC type of way. What is the actual relationship there? What is so special about something that can do just one job? Wouldn't it be more efficient to just carry a Leatherman around? I mean, you can do everything from cutting a tree branch, cutting the stalks of roses off the bottom for your wife because you bought yourself another device. I mean, here's something there that you could probably do. There are plenty of options with something like the Leatherman Wave Plus. It's a really, really great little tool. But still, there's just something about it that isn't my knee-jerk reaction. I have a new box coming in from a different retro store and I want to open it up. I'm going to grab my knife and I'm just going to quickly flip it open and get after it. I need to, slice and sharpen a pencil for my daughter because the pencil tip broke. I'm just gonna grab my knife. It's quick and easy. I'm not gonna rummage through my bag. I'm not gonna go through all of the pomp and circumstance that is setting it up to do the job I need it to do, when this right here is as simple as flip, we're good to go, and we can just close it and it is back in the pocket. And obviously a knife is a classic piece of hardware. It does one job, and that's the only job it does. It cuts. That's it. The knife just cuts. And for me, that's exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to gaming. Modern gaming is getting more expensive, modern hardware is getting more expensive, and the return on that investment, the return on that investment is questionable. But the return on this is great. And for those of you wondering, that's a V60. 25 grams of coffee in, 425 grams of water out in 3 minutes. Coffee. This right here is my knife. This right here is my Benchmade. This right here is my easy peasy lemon squeezy go-to. It just goes in my pocket and I don't have to worry about it. It's gonna do the job I ask it to do every single time. And why is the DS so special at this time? That it has this Game Boy Advance slot. I knew it had this Game Boy Advance slot. But why is this small little guy better than this 3DS? Well, I wouldn't say it's better. But what I'd say is this, though it is much smaller, the screen size, Chrono Trigger looks better on this native screen size. You can do that on this, but this is undeniably a little bit more compact. It's also a little bit smaller than my iPhone. Yes, I mean smaller than my iPhone. It is about twice the thickness, so pocketability is unreal. This is actually very quickly become a go-to must-have EDC item on me. And by EDC, my essential dad carry, this goes in my pocket. I keep this in my pocket more than my phone itself, and it's for the simplicity in gaming. I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of us are feeling this too. The fact that the Analog 3D did what it did, I went on to try to buy one, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I don't need one. I have an N64 that I don't really tend to use that often. I'm a sucker for handheld gaming. Game Boy Advance, DS, Super Nintendo on an analog pocket, it does it for me. I'm pretty much set. The games that I'm missing, it's fine. I'm gonna be okay. I know my limits, I know my boundaries. But again, what I'm looking for more is just an experience that's consistent, is gonna do the job I need it to do. This right here does that, the DS. You can honestly do it however you want. There isn't a wrong answer here. But I would suggest that there is a lot of interest in these type of experiences because, well, here, let me just tell you a quick story. So I was playing through and finishing Yoshi's Island. I played the Super Nintendo version. I played it on the Analog Pocket. The reason why I played on Analog Pocket was because handheld Super Nintendo at the best, I think it's the best version of the handheld Super Nintendo. Genuinely. It is the truest to the experience on the Analog Pocket. Through that experience, I learned about how modern gaming has shifted the way that I play games. You see, I'm playing Wind Waker on the Wii U, and I'm playing Yoshi's Island on the Analog Pocket. Those two games have been ones that I've enjoyed a lot because the experiences are plain and simple, exactly what is in front of me. I don't have to figure out, is this going to be emulated well? Is this going to run properly? Is there going to be scaling issues? There isn't. The games themselves run as perfect as they can, and that for me is the closest I can get to this right here. It does what I need it to do. It cuts things, and it cuts them exactly the way I want them to. It has a lifetime warranty, and it's going to do the job. This right here is the reason why I love my original hardware, not that knife. It is a single-use piece of hardware. I know it's a really peculiar way to go about it, and I will tell you this, the DS has the ability to use something like an R4 card. That R4 card has all of the DS games on it you can load, as well as you can put a shorty, as I call it, Game Boy Advance pack at the bottom, because it has a full Game Boy Advance in there, and you can play both Game Boy Advance library and the DS library. For me, this means a lot, these types of experiences, and I get to share them with my kids. But the biggest part about it is they're distraction-free. They're intentional. If I want to play my games, I get to play my games. And that for me means a ton. It means that I get to play more and more and more. And for me, those are the moments that I cherish because I don't get to play games often. So when I do, I want to play them intentionally. This original hardware revival in my life has been extraordinary. It's fun. It's really fun. And I love sharing that. So I hope this meant something to you. It certainly did mean something to me. You can find a DS pretty cheap, anywhere from $50 to $100 depending on the, I guess, color. Like again, I got mine for $80. On embarrassingly Amazon. So go out, have some fun, play more, and be kind. See ya.